What's up guys, welcome to Purgatory, and recently we got news that the new DLC for Splatoon 3 is releasing very soon. Side Order is just around the corner, and I wanted to give you a brief history lesson on how the single player experiences in the Splatoon franchise have evolved. This video focuses mainly on gameplay, but we do touch on the lore just a little bit. Make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Without further ado, let's get started. This is where it all started. So this is the simplest single player of all of it. Collectibles were hidden on the actual levels for you to find. The story wasn't very in-depth, and the scrolls gave backstory but left a lot of mysteries to still be solved, from what I understand. If you want to read on the lore, I will see if I can link something in the description below. The main hub played a basic role of getting you to where you need to be, and that was really it. The only real reward you got for exploring was just to unlock new levels because their entrances would be hidden. The levels themselves were basic puzzles that mostly were pretty easy, and some offered a great challenge, but there was no real major reward to play it through other than to learn about the game. It was also the only game to use the dual screen gimmick with the Wii U. This feature wouldn't return due to the next release being on Nintendo's newest hardware. The original Splatoon feels the most like a tutorial rather than an actual single player experience, but it is still very fun to come back to. In March of 2017, the Nintendo Switch came out, and on July 21st, Splatoon 2 released. This single player would see the return of Splatoon 1's formula, but greatly improved. The game utilizes weapon variety by unlocking over time and being able to select the weapon of your choice when playing through the level again, and future levels as well. You can also upgrade each weapon as you go. One major thing that this campaign introduces was the fact that you could unlock every hero version of the existing weapons in the game's multiplayer. That added a grind factor to the game. You had to go through every level with each weapon to unlock it in the multiplayer. This pretty much meant that you had to play the single player up to 9 times to unlock everything, and all of them were literally just reskins of an already existing kit that you could unlock through Sheldon. Other than that, this single player keeps the same formula that the first game offers, a blocky makeshift world that is very neat to explore but doesn't really offer much reward for it. So far, nothing has drastically changed. Until... the Splatoon franchise gets its first major DLC release called Octo Expansion. This expansion was announced beforehand, but was surprise released during a pretty big Nintendo event. With this DLC, we are introduced to an Octoling as a playable character for the first time ever. Octolings were huge in the previous Splatoon single players, but they never made you play as one until now. Nintendo even rewarded you with a playable Octoling in multiplayer upon story completion. The whole theme here is very different. You are once again partnered with Captain Cuttlefish, but this time he doesn't know who you are, and your character lost all of their memories. This DLC takes the usual formula but expands it. The overworld is far more linear, where you mostly select a level through some UI. The levels, however, make up for that with much more unique and challenging designs. Octo Expansion contains a lot more story and provides some more impactful lore. It even has its first extravagant finale that contributes to its story, and here you even learn about the backstories of the two main idols in the game. Some references are made to the previous stories as well. With the theme being completely opposite of what we were used to, this DLC was considered well worth the $20 price tag and holds up the most to this day. Late 2022, Splatoon 3 releases. Splatoon 3 takes the single player formula and completely flips it on its head. It takes the basic Splatoon single player and the best parts of Octo Expansion and makes this near masterpiece. In Alterna, your exploration is rewarded outside of the typical levels you play, and you don't need to do any of them in order. You can even skip some areas entirely, and it all leads up to this very similar big finale that Octo Expansion provides. This is also the very first time Salmon Run gets involved in Splatoon's overall story as well. The weapon grind wasn't brought back with this game. Instead, they opted for the Octo Expansion route, where you get a set of weapons to choose from, so that feature is something Splatoon 2 is unique for as of right now. While Octo Expansion is considered the essential Splatoon single-player experience, Splatoon 3 comes at a close second in most people's eyes. From the tier lists I have seen, Splatoon players have a pretty unanimous agreement on where these latest two experiences stand. Splatoon's hero modes and DLC are something that not many talk about. When you think of Splatoon, you typically think of the PvP experience of the game. Something I feel some won't realize is that the game has much more than that, and is something to be appreciated as well. With that being said, Side Order is coming out very soon, and I couldn't be any more excited to play it. Something that I thought lacks in Splatoon's single-player modes is replayability. Other than Splatoon 2, which can still get old, these campaigns were good at being played once every other year after the game's release. With what Nintendo has been saying, Side Order plans to rectify that problem, and if there is something I know Nintendo is good at, it's replayable single-player experiences, especially when it's specifically designed to be replayable, and I will absolutely be covering it when it releases. So hopefully y'all did enjoy this video. If you want to see a tier list from me, an image will be on screen now. As much as I love Octo Expansion's aesthetic, Splatoon 3's alternate mode is just so much more enjoyable to replay through, and I just personally think it's better. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are brand new to the channel, and let me know down in the comment section what was your first Splatoon single player experience, and what is your favorite Splatoon single player. I love you all. Have an absolutely fantastic day.